So this morning, me and a friend are gonna go pick up some hay. Hay prices are crazy. They're through the roof. It's actually kind of insane. I'm gonna post a picture here in a second showing you what we're looking at. And no joke, bales of hay are going for upwards of $225. I've seen it even higher. And that's for the 4x5s, and then the smaller compressed bales at around 40-50 pounds. I've seen those for as high as 20 bucks a piece, making, you know, a standard bale of hay that's approximately 1,500 pounds worth around $600. So it's getting pretty crazy out there. So our current hay situation isn't bad. If you saw my video that I made months and months ago, I told everybody this was going to happen. I provided all the facts. I provided all the stats on it. I've provided all the news on it. I reached out to all the mainstream preppers and said, hey, I know you don't like me for my thoughts and views on preparedness, but this is a real deal that, you know, you should notify as many people about as possible because it's going to come down. And I think the only person that actually made a video about it was Asymmetrical Preparedness. He put something out on it, so I appreciate that he was able to get that out to his audience. But this is a real deal. It's a real problem. And the sad part is, even with all the math and calculations and talking to hay farmers out there, I didn't think that the prices were going to be this high. I wasn't expecting these prices till later on the season, even coming to the wintertime. So the fact that before, you know, most people even have second cutting out, we are seeing prices of over $200 a bale. To comparison that, we saw prices last year, the year before, sitting around, you know, $50 to $60 a bale. So, you know, this is some pretty, you know, unprecedented shit. And not just that, last night, because we have to get this hay out of state. And so last night I stayed with some family members that are a couple hours away, and we were talking about it, and they had told me that one of their fields that they have, somebody actually came in and hayed it before they had a chance to. And the reason why they weren't able to hay it immediately is because they need a new easement, because the people that have the easement goes through another property. And it's never been a problem historically, but this year it was a problem to use that driveway. So they're like, okay, fine, so we're gonna put in an easement. You know, they're gonna make sure they have everything all set up, all proper, you know, make sure they have all the, you know, they have all the permits pulled, everything that they need. And believe it or not, they came by and their grass was gone. Their fields were gone. And I have a neighbor that lives just down the street from me who usually gets his field hayed by a really good friend, a guy that he played, you know, football with in high school. You know, they've known each other for, you know, 40 plus years. And usually they go 50-50. Well, this year he wanted 70-30, and he didn't tell me he wanted 70-30 until after it was already cut. And so they had an argument about it. And I think he ended up letting it go for 60-40. But that's how hard it is right now. No joke. Friends that have been friends historically for many, many years are fighting over fucking hay. And while this may sound silly, this is literally how people, you know, make a living. This is how people feed their families. This is how whole communities function, is having enough hay for their livestock. You know, whether you're a small subsistence operation like mine or you're a big cattle operation, the ability to feed your animals grass is one of the most paramount things that you can do. And so with fertilizer prices being as high as they are, with the rain being the way it is, you know, whether you're in a drought or you're getting too much rain or whatever, all these factors are causing huge problems in the hay community. So ultimately I found a supplier who's going to sell me hay for an astronomical deal. I'm just going to leave it at that. So we are going out of state for it. We're going to go pick it up. And again, I don't think we're going to need to use it. But what's great, if we need it, we have it. If we don't need it, I can turn around, sell it for a profit without a doubt. I could literally buy the hay right now and turn around and sell it for a double profit, no problem. I could double what I'm selling it for right now and get rid of all of it. So it's a great deal. It's too good to pass up. So we're going to go out, we're going to get that hay. Moving some hay around. And then we have almost 30 acres here that we're going to be able to get another cutting from. This stuff looks great. So we're going to be able to get another cutting from that. So God is truly blessing us. God is truly blessing us.
Well, overall, it's been a success. We were able to get more hay, more bales of hay at a very, very affordable price. Our barns are full. We have it stored numerous places here on the homestead. So we are doing well, and we are very blessed. It looks like we've gotten enough rain to get another cutting on our fields. So God has truly blessed us, and I'm 100% confident we can make it through any season at this point. We have calculated up and we have stored enough hay as if there was an ice storm that's going to happen this month and continuously until spring of next year. So we're good because, we have made proper preparations because our animals are important. We need to be able to feed our animals because those animals feed us. So they feed my family, my friends, and my community. So it's very important that we get that established. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell you that prices on hay are not going down. We're going to continue to see record prices because we have, number one, we have inflation. Inflation is naturally going to drive prices. Two, we have a fertilizer shortage, naturally going to drive up prices significantly. Three, we have weather. Some people are getting too much water. Some people aren't getting enough water. And even for those getting the right amount of water they need, they're not getting that fertilization done because of not being able to afford or have access to fertilizer, especially petroleum-based fertilizers, which is what most people use these days. They're not getting 3 or 4 cuttings. They might get 2 cuttings if they're lucky. So it's one of those things where proper management of this stuff, is almost nearly impossible unless you have a good system in place. Now, I'm not going to mention any names out of respect for the person, but this person is within significant roles, has placed a significant role in agriculture down here, and he has a lot of friends that play even more significant roles in agriculture, and I mean agriculture on the state and federal level. And based upon, and this is not to be I have intel. This is just to say what I am doing, because I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to make doomsday predictions, but what I am preparing for is very little meat, if any, on the shelves during certain months next year. Based upon the numbers that we're looking at, I've long said that they've been fabricated. I've shown statistical, mathematical proof that they're not substantiated, and then hearing important people in the agricultural community say that they are in fact inflated. It tells me everything I need to know. Now, we can talk about the ethics of farmers inflating prices, or the government inflating prices, or whatever, or inflating numbers which inflate prices. We can talk about that till we're blue in the face, and I love having those conversations. But ultimately, regardless of good, bad, or indifferent, the numbers are fabricated. So if they're fabricated, when tires hit the pavement here, you're gonna see massive inflation. You're gonna see a lack of food resources out there. Hay prices are going to continue, like you saw here in the South, or $200+ for a bale of hay. Are you kidding me? And if you try to buy hay, if you're buying it in small bales, of upwards of $15 a piece, you're looking at over $600 for that said bale. If it's just, if you take your standard bale at 1,500 pounds and you make it into a bunch of square bales. So it's one of those things where it's coming. So I really, I would implore you, but at this point, everybody's going to do their own thing. Look at your food situation. Again, if you think that you're going to stockpile and hoard your way out of this, okay, man, we'll see in a little bit, right? We'll see how far that gets you, because at the end of the day, you need to be producing, or you need to have very good relationships with producers. We saw what happened with the Amish. The government is very serious about you not getting your licenses, you not getting your stamps. They're very serious about it. If them hiring 80,000 plus IRS agents isn't showing you the importance of them wanting you to obey the laws they have on the books, subject to their discretion, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I really don't. The fact that they would go after an Amish farmer, the fact that they are doing the things they're doing, shows you that they really want you to obey the law based upon their preferences and discretion. Right? So keep that in mind. Think about it. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. That's what I have for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. As always, guys, long live the Republic.